Okay, we're continuing our discussion on user-defined pop-up windows, and we've discussed how this first window is populated by an Ajax callback, and now we're going to discuss how this next window here, the second window, in this case this window is populated by a JavaScript function that generates some HTML. So let's go back to design mode, open up the action button editor and look at the definition of the second button over here. So this button also of course is a pop-up Ajax window, and let's go into edit mode here, and we can see that this time we've chosen the JavaScript function as the method to populate the window, and then we've specified that the function name is JS generate content. So let's go take a look now at the JS generate window content function. So that's a JavaScript function. So we'll go now and look here at our JavaScript function declarations, and you can see there we go. So this is my JavaScript function called JS generate content, and this of course can be just any JavaScript that you want, and this function must just simply return the HTML that you want to display. So you can see here that we're getting a variable called row and making it equal to the current row that has focus. Now you can see we've just gone and defined some arbitrary text, and this is JavaScript, so the text needs to be single quoted over there. Then we've put in a BR because we're generating HTML. Then we continue generating our string, and so here we say the current row with focus is this, and then we break out of our JavaScript and we actually execute a method of the grid object dot selected row, and that's going to give us the selected row, which of course is just the same as this value there, row. We could have just as easily just put row over there. And then we want to get the current value of the contact name, so we call the grid object's get value method, and we read the value of the contact name field from the current row in the grid part. And then once we've built up this string over here, which can be arbitrarily long or arbitrarily complex, we just simply return text. So that means that this function is going to return this text string over here. And so then let's go ahead and look at it now, and when we press the button, up comes the window. The window comes up instantaneously because there's no callback being made to the server, and all of this content here is generated on the fly by the JavaScript function. So let's take a look now at this third button. In this case, basically this window content is locally defined. So let's go and look at what that means. So we'll go back now to our action buttons and look at the definition of the third button. So again, it's a pop-up Ajax window. Let's go now and edit, and you can see now that the window content is set using this local option, and then here right in the actual action JavaScript genie, you can go ahead now and actually define the window content. So this is the HTML that I would like to display in the window, and I can go here and just type in, here is some more text to show in the window. And then go ahead and save it. So you can see that this is actually the simplest of all of the button styles, and in this case we've chosen to position the window at an absolute position 1 inch from the top and 1 inch in from. So you can see here is the here are the window positioning options, and there are a whole slew of different options. There's in view, which is the default. This is the center of the screen. This is an absolute position, and I've chosen 1 inch by 1 inch, and then relative, which lets you position the window relative to either the button that brings the window up or some other control. So in this case we'll choose absolute over there. So let's go ahead now and save that and run the grid and click the button, and again you can see it comes up instantaneously because there's no callback being made. So let's pause now and pick it up in the next